I haven't seen or heard anybody ask to see Khalil Roundtree fight Alex Pereira. Like, literally nobody outside of him have I seen ask for that fight. What's going on, Sweet Dreams Nation? I'm here with another recap. I want to recap the fights that went down in Las Vegas this past weekend on December 9th. I was there live, so I checked out. I was able to see it up close and in person. I just wanted to get a quick recap in. And, let's talk about it. Oh, shit. The boy Draymond just knocked somebody the fuck out. Damn. Hell, he definitely about to get ejected. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. My bad, y'all. This is like real on one of the monitors right here. You can see it. The Draymond Green foul going upside of, was that Yusuf Nurkic? Yusuf Nurkic's head. Yeah, he definitely about to get ejected. Anyway, so I mean, for the most part, it was a pretty good fights. The prelims, a lot of those I caught some of them kind of on my way to the Apex to watch, but wasn't really too tapped in. So I'm gonna stay mainly focused on like the future prelim, which I actually did watch. The Song Kongne versus Kevin Josset was a good fight. That was a good fight, back and forth, stand-up battle. I think Kevin was a sharper striker in that fight, but Song had the power. Song had the power, but that was about it. Like, Kevin had the better judge of distance, better footwork, better range control and things like that. And I think that was the reason why he was able to get it done. Song was able to crack him on a lot of hard shots, especially whenever he was doing like a few striking woes that you don't do. And Song was able to crack him with some pretty good shots, but he wasn't able to really put anything behind the really good shots that he landed clean, because footwork, man, just footwork and range control was just on the other side. Opening up the main card, Jun Young Park versus Andre Munoz. That was kind of like that kind of fight was a little funky back and forth, like a little rock'em sock'em, beat him up, drag him out fight. Ended in a split decision. I didn't really pay too much attention to that one. I was in the back. I went to the back to go holler at Anthony Smith, talk to him, see where his head was and things like that. I wasn't really too tapped in with this one. Tim Elliott versus Sumornanj. I don't know. First round submission. Came out pretty fast paced. These guys kind of got after each other to begin with. Tim was able to grab a hold of him and get him down. I think he got him down off of like a hip toss, I believe, or something like that. I don't really know too much. I wasn't all the way tapped in as far as with this one, but I do remember it ending quick, and I do remember the submission coming, but I believe it was a rear naked choke. Was it a rear naked choke? Maybe. Who knows? But after that, I did predict action, fireworks, and Nasrat, not gonna butcher his last name, versus Jamie Malarkey. My picture, I pretty much went how I thought it was gonna go. I thought Nasrat was the more dangerous striker, a little bit stronger of a grappler, and he just seems a little bit more vicious, bro. Just way more vicious. He went in and caught Malarkey clean with a right hand and put him down, bro. Caught him, hurt him, and put him away. It was pretty good, pretty quick. Not too much to go into on that one. Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree. it was a war. It was a war. Um, Anthony took the fight on short notice, so I take that into account where when I break this fight down, because I think the biggest thing that I noticed that Ant did wrong in this fight kind of was lack of footwork, right? Lack of movement. He wasn't as active as he needed to be in his footwork. And being in and out to control the range as he did, as he should have, and as he had the ability of doing. Whenever he let his hands go, he was able to crack each other. They both were cracking each other back and forth. But one thing that Ant has done over the last couple fights, and it's like it's one of those things that you don't want to see, is that standing right in front of him and just putting his hands up and kind of accepting the fact that of just accepting getting cracked. Essentially. There are ways that it can be defensively intelligent and can lead to counters and ways to get in and things like that. But it can't just be that with your hands just going up. That in itself alone isn't enough. And I think that's something that they will address him and his team, after the fight. I did go and check on him, it's my bro. He's just trying to piece it together, he was good, he was calm, he was reserved and everything like that, but he knows he's got some work to do and some things to get right mentally and with whatever else he needs. I've already offered to be there, I'm doing my process, trying to heal up as strongly and as quickly as possible. Proper healing is the most important thing. But yeah, 100% I'm down and I'm there if you need me, bro. Khalil Roundtree. Khalil, I believe this might have been my first time actually being able to watch him fight in person. He looks strong. He looked like whenever he lands, he's able to crack. He's able to hit, and it has some pop and some serious umph on it. Size wise, as far as the division goes, I didn't realize how he's a little bit more smaller and compact. We'll say, doesn't his hands look maybe not the biggest, and his head is kind of small, but his torso is like a 205 torso. It's one of the strangest things, but he was able to weather the storm. He took some shots, and as well as gave them. It was just a really, really back and forth. And whenever he was able to stay in there and do the right things and land with good power, even late into the third round, to where he was able to catch Anthony and ultimately win the fight. Now, after the fight, he made a call out, which to me was pretty interesting. The call for the Pereira fight, which, as he should, he's the champion of the division, so 100% you should be shooting for the top and trying to call your shot and things in that regard. But to a degree, you got to be realistic, right? I haven't seen or heard anybody ask to see Khalil Roundtree fight Alex Pereira. Like, literally nobody outside of him have I seen ask for that fight. Do I think it would be an interesting fight? Yeah, it has the potential to be an interesting fight because somebody's going to sleep in that fight. I think that now with him having a win over Anthony Smith, former title challenger, top 10, he's now made his way into the top 10. I believe he's at 8. There's guys that are on more impressive streaks at the moment that are ahead of him that aren't even in line for a title shot. So it's kind of hard to say like, oh yeah, this is what you should do. I believe we actually were talking about it, so we looked ahead and There's some ways that he could, like, I believe, honestly, realistically, he's about maybe 1 or 2 wins away. I think he would need another solid win inside the top 10, or a top 5 win. A top 5 win to get him there. I don't know what Jan Blachowicz has planned right now, but I think as from what I saw on Saturday and what I, my fight knowledge and my fight IQ, I would say Jan Blachowicz would probably be his best shot at getting a win over anybody that's currently ranked ahead of him. And he could, and that would give him a little bit more of a case for that title shot. It's the same thing that Alex Pereira did. Alex Pereira came from another division, beat Jan Blachowicz and got a title shot. So I believe that will probably be a fight more so to put him in a good spot in the mix. We got a lot of guys coming back from injury with Rakic and Yuri's back now. Myself included in that. So I believe realistically he would have to probably find another fight or something like that. If he really wanted to shoot for the stars and shoot big and try to put himself in that spot to where next he would be fighting for a title shot, Yuri Prochazka would be the fight. Now, again, based off what I saw Saturday, Yuri Prochazka would be the favorite in my eyes to win that matchup. Just from what I've seen from Yuri in watching him in person at MSG in New York, and then what I seen from Khalil Roundtree in this last Saturday fight at the Apex against Anthony Smith. I believe Yuri would be a tough matchup for him. Do I think he can win? Yeah, it's a fight. Anybody can win. He's got that, like I said, he's got that power. He can touch you and put you down, and he's pretty persistent, and he carries that power in later in the rounds. Pause on the touch thing or whatever I just said before. But yeah, I think he could be capable of doing that. I think that would be more of a route to take, because just like me, people can say whatever they want to say about my title shot, but I was selected for the title shot because of the streak that I was on and where I sat in the rankings and what was going on in the division at the time. So that isn't a quite the same correlation. I even knew at the time that I needed more fights. If you go back to after the Santos fight, I beat Johnny Walker. That was my break into the top 10. I beat Santos, which was another solid entrenchment into the top 10. And then after that, I was lying to fight Anthony Smith, who was in the top 10, who was in the top 5 at the time. So I made a slow build. So I think he's a couple fights away from that. I don't think he fights anybody behind him. I think he fights forward, which is Nikita Krylov booked. If Nikita Krylov isn't booked, which I don't suggest that matchup for him because Nikita would do a lot of grappling. Nikita has no problem shooting 15, 20 times. For Khalil, at this point, you want to show a strike and a fair. You want to show your A game, and you want to highlight real finishes. That would be a hard one to come by with the Nikita Krylov as opposed to a Jan Blachowicz or a Yuri Prochazka who would entice you and intrigue into your style and fight the style of the fight that you want to fight. Dang, I just got the hiccups out of nowhere, man. But yeah, Jesus. But yeah, I think that's more of a better path for him to take would be Jan Blachowicz. Ask for the Jan Blachowicz fight. Ask for the Yuri Prochazka fight. Yuri Prochazka fight would be pushing it, but it would allow you to jump that essentially that need for 2 fights. I think if he goes in and he beats a Yuri Prochazka, I think he would be right in line next for a title shot after that. So yeah, that's how you do it. But as far as right now, I think everybody would want to see it. I think Las Vegas should have a champion, but nobody cares about that. Not like Las Vegas is what I think 20%, maybe 20%. of the people here are actually from here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's not like really a thing. Like, it's cool. The whole thing would be cool to see. Like, you know what I mean? You get your face all over Las Vegas down the strip and things like that. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a huge deal. That's a dream come true. And I 100% feel that. But that other stuff is like, wow. On to the main event. Song Yudong versus Chris Gutierrez. Oh, an action fight, man. An action-packed fight. High level fight. The things that I took away from it. One with the Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez has to lock in on his boxing. He has to be able to use his hands and form that in with his kicks just as well. Because early on, he had Song frustrated. He had him frustrated with the kicks and the distance and the constant repetitive go. He just didn't stop firing. He didn't stop firing leg kicks. He didn't stop firing body kicks. He probably should have used the front kick a little bit more to the sternum and to the front of his body, because Song likes to lunge a lot. You know, he just wants to get in there and throw hands. He thinks he's got like just hands like that, bro. He's fucking laughing because I got the hiccups. I just got him out of nowhere mid video. It's crazy. But yeah, he's got like he likes to get in. He likes to get in. He wants to hit you with the power shots. Now, that's one deficiency I did notice with Song when I was there in person, is the fact that he doesn't use his feet to get in. He likes to explode in the range and like he kind of relies on the fact maybe he can catch you with a hard punch to kind of knock you off balance or knock you off your square before he's able to actually get in and actually start unloading and letting combos go and things like that. He can get away with that with some guys like Chris is really kick heavy, so a lot of his things was kick and then footwork to move out. So he wasn't really able to take the best way to really take advantage of somebody blitzing in and power. With the power, you have to be able to catch them clean with hands. You have to show ability, trust in your hands, good boxing, and stand in and deliver good, solid, and powerful shots. Chris did that a couple times. He did towards the end of the fight get the right hand kind of going a little bit and was sitting on that a little bit. But for the most part, it just wasn't like not enough. He had I would have liked to see him get his hands a little bit more busy, especially after he gained the respect with his kicks. Because after he started to gain the respect with his kicks, and Song had a hard time getting to him and reaching him, he's like, okay, I'm gonna take him down. He started to take him down, trying to take the wind out of his sails, hold him down, make him grapple, make him use energy. And plus, he was already getting tired because kicking and moving like that takes a lot of energy out of you already in itself. So I believe that played a huge factor into him slowing down towards the end and Song eventually being able to take control and kind of, chop at the bit and grind out a decision essentially. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I think both of them, looking back, can see a lot of things that they can improve on, like minor things, but things that can be all the difference at the top of the division, especially when you got somebody like a Sean O'Malley at the top of that division who Song cannot rush in like that. If he tries to blitz Sean the way that he was blitzing Chris Gutierrez to try to close distance and things like that, Sean, who I believe is probably a little taller, has a little bit more reach, and is just as sharp enough and has enough power to knock you out. I believe that could be a huge problem for Song in a fight with a Sean O'Malley at the top of that division, as well as the Corey Sandhagen and Merab, and as far as grapples go, like you got Merab, you got Aljo, like those guys. If he lunging like that at them, if you're not able to hit them, which Merab does a good job of keeping his hands up, getting under strikes or neutralizing punches, throwing back, and then being able to get under and take you down. and he doesn't stop. So that's definitely something you're gonna have to work on. His footwork, getting in to ultimately get to the spots that he wants to get in and get those. So that was my takeaway from this weekend. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think it was a good card. For the most part, they did it. It was pretty top heavy at the end. With the last, I'll say about 4 fights, but it was entertaining nonetheless. Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow. I'm gonna have we're gonna try to get on the biggest War Council group that we've had so far. We're gonna tap in. We got the last card of the year with UFC 296, Covington versus Edwards. We're gonna talk about that, break it down, and yeah, man. Y'all stay tapped in.